So we are so excited to welcome one of our keynote speakers for tonight, Desange Kuenihira. Desange Kuenihira is the CEO and founder of Undefeated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering underprivileged youth and women facing extreme financial hardship in Uganda. Her foundation helps single mothers and young people develop entrepreneurial skills to create sustainable businesses that support their families. Originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Desange spent 12 years as a refugee in Uganda before moving to the US and becoming a citizen. She holds dual Bachelor of Science degrees in Criminology and Health, Society, and Policy, with a minor in Entrepreneurship from the University of Utah. A former title holder of Miss Democratic Republic of Congo in the 2019 Miss Africa Utah pageant and Miss Juneteenth in 2018, Desange actively represents her home country through community engagement and speaking events. Her memoir, Undefeated Woman, chronicles her inspiring journey from a challenging childhood marked by poverty and displacement to becoming a college graduate and advocate for women's empowerment. Through her work, Desange is committed to transforming lives and fostering hope in her community. Thank you so much, Desange.
Thank you so much, Laura, for that introduction. Hi, everyone. It's such a great honor to be able to speak with you all today and share a little bit about myself. As Laura said, my name is Desange. I was born in Congo, but raised in Uganda. I came to the United States when I was 13 years old. I believe that was in 2014. And when we got here, as everyone who is a migrant or refugee out here, you know the struggles of moving in a new country, new food, different culture, trying to see how to navigate both of the culture, and also just being a teen, trying to transfer that and imagining that and seeing where do I really stand, or how do I still embrace my own culture and still learn, and also when do I exchange of using these two cultures? So I come in a big family. I have 7 siblings. I am in the middle with a twin. And I think our biggest challenges as refugee for me was education. I did not know how to read or write until I got in this country in 2014. And luckily, I was so blessed to have teachers who were very dedicated, come very early in the morning, and also to leave very late so that I can learn how to read, I can learn how to write. And in my first year of school here, I was able to actually receive a award of being a good student and also keeping up a GPA of 4.0 throughout the year. And I think when I got here, for me, it was more about education, of finding who I was, of trying to learn and overcoming those struggles. Because growing up back home, I was called a meaningless girl. And I was told that the only meaning I had was a diary that a man would pay to marry me. And that did not sit well with me. I needed to find myself and understand who I was. I started in 8th grade. And after 8th grade, I ended up attending a school called the NASP, early college high school. They also did college classes. So I started taking college classes, ended up graduating with my associate degree in 2019, and ended up getting a full ride scholarship at the University of Utah. And while I was in the University of Utah, in my head, I was like, what should I do? Oh, as a college student, the University of Utah is known for its entrepreneurial spirit as well, and encouraging people to start their own businesses. And I was like, how can I start giving back? How can I create something for people back home? And before that, in 2016, I actually got my first job ever at the University of Utah in the chemistry department, doing research. And when I got that job, I was like, wow, I have everything I ever needed. I'm going to school. I have education. How am I going to be able to use these funds? And I started supporting people back home. I started supporting my friends, family that I knew. And yeah, I just kept doing that. And in 2020, when COVID hit, everyone was reaching out for help and support. I was like, I'm just a college student in my freshman year. as like, how do we create opportunity where people who want to support and help to be able to join the movement? And I ended up actually starting Undefeated. That's how Undefeated was born. And yeah, we actually have people who travel with us there every single year to visit the students they have been sponsoring, to see the women who they have supported and see the change they have done so far. As she said, Undefeated, we are focusing on single mothers, especially women who are going through child marriage. Child marriage is a very common thing within a lot of countries that are just coming up. For us within the community of where I work, child marriage is mainly because of poverty. It's mainly because parents are not educated, and also it's a cycle that keeps repeating and keeping people in poverty. So what we do, we usually educate mostly women and men of how this should not be happening, of how you should not only see your daughters as an income, but you should see them as something more than just income. Because as for them, they say that women do not hold their clan. Their clan is type of identification. So taking that, I was saying like girls are more than just diary you pay to marry them. I myself, I was almost in that route of going into child marriage, but later on, coming to America saved me. So I was like, how can I fight for those who can speak for themselves? How can I find these resources that I needed myself back home to give back to the community? So I was like, let's create these. We do have clubs in schools where students talk about the issues the community is facing and how do they turn them into businesses. And yeah, so we find sponsors here to sponsor kids, and then we travel with them to Uganda to visit these kids. And yeah, I'm also an author. I have wrote a book. I started the book of trying to inspire kids here because a lot of kids here hate school. So I was like, why can't I not write this book and just inspire them and tell them kids back home, they would take this chance with a habit. And when I started writing, I started in ninth grade, and it actually became a healing process for me to face my own trauma, see how this trauma has made who I am today, and to just embrace the journey. I mean, without those traumas, I would not be who I am today. And it just looking in the positive way. Laura, how many minutes do I have left?
We're right about there.
Okay, I am gonna let you guys ask any questions that you have. Maybe I can take 3 questions.
We have some Q&A time at the end, so we'll run through the rest and then we can do some Q&A. I'm sure people have lots of questions for you.
Okay. Sounds good. But I'm so grateful to be here and to speak to all of you and to be able to share my story. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Desange. That was so inspiring, and I'm very, very excited to read your book.